Super Bowling coming up on Super Bowl Sunday. Later, the 50th version of the Gridiron Great. The PBA goes one better. It's the 51st edition of the PBA Tournament of Champions. Ready to roll for the first time ever in the state of Oklahoma. Welcome to Firelake Arena. For the first major title on the 2016 PBA Tour will be awarded live today in the stepladder final round of the Firelake PBA Tournament of Champions. Australian Jason Belmonte was recently named PBA Player of the Year for the third consecutive season. Belmonte is looking for his sixth career PBA major today. It's not called the Tournament of Champions for nothing, as some of bowling's greatest names have won the PBA's signature event. But the last two TOC titles reside down under, as the sport's hottest bowler, Aussie Jason Belmonte, is the two-time reigning champion looking to three-peat. Will Belmo make history one more time?
Here now are your five finalists for the Firelake PBA Tournament of Champions. The number 5 seed has one PBA Tour title, looking for his first major win today. From Riverview, Florida, Tom Daugherty. The number 4 seed is the 2013 PBA Tour Rookie of the Year. Last year, he captured the 2015 Lubbock Open from Huntington, Indiana, E.J. Tackett. The number 3 seed is a 3-time PBA Player of the Year, looking for his third consecutive Tournament of Champions win. From Australia, Jason Belmonte. The number 2 seed captured the 2015 Cheetah Championship en route to the PBA Rookie of the Year honors, representing Sweden, Jesper Svensson. Our tournament leader has to win only one match today to take home that first place prize of $50,000. Looking for his first career title from Clarksville, Tennessee, give it up for Mitch Beasley. Here again are your 5 finalists for the Firelake PBA Tournament of Champions.
And hello again, everyone. Mike Jakubowski at the PBA Tournament of Champions. Among the storylines today in the top 5, youth is alive and well on the PBA Tour. 2 recent Rookies of the Year, E.J. Tackett, and the current and reigning Harry Golden PBA Rookie of the Year, Jesper Svensson. Tom Daugherty, one of the most memorable matches in Tournament of Champions history. Daugherty here today looking for his first major. And another historic opportunity for Jason Belmonte. And joined now by PBA Hall of Famer Randy Peterson. Randy, they taught us in journalism school, never bury the lead. The lead is the tournament leader, Mitch Beasley.
Absolutely. Mitch Beasley put on quite the show at this year's TSC. You know, Mike, when I bowled the Tournament of Champions, I always felt it was the easiest tournament to make it to match play, but the toughest once you got there, because all of your opponents were PBA champions. Mitch Beasley set a record this week at the TSC in match play. He went 23-1 in tournament match play. In fact, the last 8 games Friday night, he went 8-0 to secure the number 1 seed. You know, MJ, interestingly enough, he didn't pick up a bowling ball until age 19 when he was stationed in Germany in the Air Force. He honed his craft through the PBA Regional Tour, winning 20 of those. And today, at age 47, Mitch Beasley is 1 game away, 1 win away from capturing a national title, a major. It's just an incredible story.
Mitch Beasley, the top of the stepladder final, and Jason Belmonte is third. Jesper Svensson is second. Our opening match features E.J. Tackett and Tom Daugherty, the subject of that memorable Tournament of Champions match.
2011 against Mika Koivuniemi, it seemed like he split every other shot. In the 10th frame, he leaves the big four. He needs 2 to shoot 100. He loses 299 to 100, but you know what? To his credit, he owned that moment.
Good for $50,000. And Daugherty earning the Scorpion Championship for his first title, standing by right now with Kimberly Pressler.
Thanks, guys. Tom, we just saw that video of the infamous 100-pin game that you had back at the TOC 5 years ago, and you smiled the entire time. What is the lasting impression you have on that moment?
You know, I handled it the best I could. I had a bad day. Make the most of it. Made me a better person, better bowler. So next time I was on TV, it definitely helped me.
Well, when you made the telecast here, you got a bit of an interesting message, encouraging one, I would say. Who's it from and what did it say?
Yeah, halfway across the world, Mika sent me a message telling me good bowling. And he said, no matter what happens today, our record is safe. So only can go up from here, so we'll see what happens.
You could only go up from here. Good luck to you today, Tom. Guys, it looks like Tom is ready to make some new and better memories here at the TOC.
Yeah, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that he's probably going to bowl more than 100 today. As we take a look at the Tournament of Champions oil pattern, 39 feet in length, played a little bit different over at Firelake Bowling Center than it does here in the arena. A little bit more friction here in the big house, if you will.
Daugherty got a text from Mika Koivuniemi, who won that Tournament of Champions, and said, I think our record is safe. Out at the Tournament of Champions belongs to Tom Daugherty. 10-50.
Opening match, first shot, and Tom Daugherty is already inside of the middle arrow, which means that I predict by the second or third game today, the players will be lofting the left gutter cap.
Was certainly the subject of conversation yesterday at the practice session held here at the Firelake Arena.
It's nice out here.
Clean frame for Tom Daugherty. Spare on the board, and now E.J. Tackett out of Huntington, Indiana. One career PBA Tour title, looking for his first major today. He was the tournament leader at the World Championship and had a terrible time on television. And now, instead of the top of the step out, E.J. begins today.
Big move on the back end, strike 4, Tackett.
If a player leaves and converts the 7-10 split on today's show, he will earn the $100,000 Ultimate Spare Bonus, courtesy of Ultimate Bowling.
That first shot on the right lane for E.J. Tackett. He's actually further left than Tom Daugherty. That ball went so far out. Looked like it was going out for burger and fries and came back with steak and baked potato. Really opening up this oil pattern early.
First crack to the left lane for Tackett. And similar result, a flat 10.
Check out this messenger that goes so far in front, it comes out, gets hit, the head pin gets hit by another pin and actually comes out on the other side of the sweep. 7-10 standing, except that pin there is in the gutter.
That doesn't count.
No, it doesn't.
EJ is learning how he reacts, Randy, and that also affects how his ball reacts.
Well, there's many touring players out here that say he's probably the most talented player with his body style, his size, and what he can do to a bowling ball. I mean, he can put as much power using his thumb as the two-handed players can not using their thumb.
He here a lot, but yeah.
He can really do a lot of things with that release. As we take a look now, Tom Daugherty, right lane.
And 6 kicked out, makes it a bit tougher on the spare. It's the baby split, the 3-10.
Unlucky. Tom's angles through the front part of the lane much straighter than E.J. Tackett. As you can see that no thumb release there. Tom Daugherty uses that right wrist, kind of cups the bowling ball on it. And then the bad break there, chipping the 6 out, leaving the 310.
And an open frame for Daugherty. And a look at Tom Daugherty's arsenal. The Arson High Flare Solid in his hand. It's an 8.5. That's a hook rating on a scale of 10, indicating hook potential. So he's going near the top of his bag in terms of ball strength. Mixing strike for Daugherty. Fist to palm, 10 down.
Catches that Wally hit after the open frame in the second. Let's see if E.J. Tackett now can double up here. First 2 shots, both in the pocket. Strike in the first. Wild messenger in the second. Just want you to watch how hard he explodes at the release point.
Tackett, strong mind, avoids the 4-9, just the 4.
That one wasn't quite as angular, a little bit straighter up the boards, and it goes just a pinch high as we take a look from profile. Cupped wrist, and then that massive snapping of the elbow and wrist, and that open hand release. You know, back in the day, everybody was taught to lift on the bowling ball. You had to lift it. You had to feel your fingers. Well, that was back in the 70s, 80s. It worked then, but with the addition of the new equipment, that's changed. Now it's an open hand release. You never want to feel your fingers at release. You want to get that hand open and snap it open real quick at the bottom. That's what creates revolutions. As we take a look at some of the stuff that EJ has done entering the televised finals today.
An 0-3 with a 166 average, looking to improve and win on television, and 6 gets the 10 there.
You know, it's all about progression, and we've seen so many players go through it. Mike, E.J. Tackett obviously knows how to make it to match play, knows how to make it to television, still has to learn how to bowl and win on television.
That is a tough process. Same process Tom Daugherty went through with the unauspicious 100 game, but he came back to win a PBA Tour title, now contending for a major 4th frame. And a double for Daugherty.
And he cuts the deficit to 2. Tom Daugherty at release, his hand much more up the back of the bowling ball. Watch this right there. You see how he's rolling it more. E.J. Tackett's creating a little bit more side rotation. That's what enables his ball to cover more ground.
Speaking with Tom, confidence is at the top of his game. He's been through so much in the past during the run of this tournament, the ups and downs for qualifying and match play here. And Daugherty continues to smile and laugh and have fun. Not having fun there, and another baby split.
Well, that was full yank right there. Just missed target left, and not enough oil in the middle part of the lane to hold that ball off. Another 310, and Tom Daugherty disgusted with that shot.
And missed him twice.
Kidding me.
Daugherty, normally a superior split converter.
Yeah.
Unusual to see him miss 2 baby splits.
Real good spare shooter. Remember, in his win, he made a couple of splits, 2 4-10 combinations and whatnot. Very surprised that he would miss both of those 310 attempts. Now E.J. Tackett has a chance to go up 36 with 2 more strikes.
Given an opportunity, can he step on the gas? 5th frame. Powerful strike.
E.J. Tackett recently went to 16 pounds. He said, you know, it helps me to get a little bit slower hand at the bottom of the swing, but it also creates a bigger flat spot.
Firelake PBA Tournament of Champions, 77 champions qualified for 24 games, advancing to match play, 3 rounds of round-robin match play, and the top 5, after all the bonus pins were tallied, have advanced here today. E.J. Tackett, double working 26-pin lead opening match at the Tournament of Champions. Mixing strike. That's a confidence builder for Tackett. Pro bowling without a thumb in the ball is one of the biggest trends in the sport. We will examine 3 different approaches after the break. Built as the Santa Fe Depot in 1903, the Shawnee train station was fueled by growth in the railroad industry.
Mike J., you're a model train enthusiast, aren't you?
I am. My model trains compete with my Hot Wheels.
That's awesome.
Extra frame tournament highlights competed at Firelake Bowling Center. Qualifying in match play live on Extra Frame. Mitch Beasley earned the #1 seed by virtue of going 8-0 Friday night match play.
He would defeat Jesper Svensson 269-259 as those players retained their #1 and 2 positions.
Jason Belmonte will seek his 3rd straight Tournament of Champions win from the #3 seed.
Jason defeated E.J. Tackett 247-238, and they remained 3rd and 4th respectively. But the highlight of the evening was Dom Barrett and Brad Angelo. Matchup was incredible. Coming down to the 10th frame, Dom Barrett striking out, forcing Angelo to strike out to make the show. He gets the first hit. He leads the 2-4-10. Now it's up to Tom Daugherty. He must mark first ball in the 10th frame to make the telecast. Trip 2-pin. Tom Daugherty, your 5th seed.
Tom Daugherty, the benefit of that filled frame, making it, and that heat coming from Barrett and Angelo in the 7-8 matchup.
Position round pair that he bowled on with Kyle Troop, incredibly difficult.
Sixth frame for Daugherty. Little tight, doubles a 4-9.
Got up on his toes a little bit there on that shot. Let's take a look at our track tech talk. We have 3 players on the telecast today that don't use their thumb. I'm going to show you 3 different ways on how to do it. Tom Daugherty to your left there, you can see his setup. Tom Daugherty, there's his position halfway back. Now let's take a look at the 2-handers. Belmonte, left shoulder much more forward. That looks like the mirror image of Belmonte. Now that arm, wrist, everything straightens out at the bottom of the swing. I like to think of it as throwing a yo-yo. And the faster you can snap the elbow and the wrist open, the more revolutions you put on the bowling ball.
Key shot for Daugherty, 7th frame, needs a double.
Come on, baby. It's early, let's go.
Deeper.
Right now, in his mind, he thinks he has to strike out to have any chance of advancing. His max score 233 with that strike there. Beautiful shot. Like he gave this one a little bit more room to the right, maybe a little bit more side rotation.
E.J. Tackett, 3 strikes working. Everyone at Oak Lanes in Huntington, Indiana, cheering him on. Wide path, drives him straight back. Hembo.
This might be the telecast that E.J. Tackett proves to the rest of the bowling world that he can win. And the reason why I say that is because he has a great ball reaction to start with right now as we take a look at his arsenal using Octane. But if he can stay ahead of transition, follow the transition, he may have a chance to run the ladder and win his first major.
And speaking with E.J., he's confounded. He can dominate qualifying, he can win match play, and he's confounded by why he operates differently in this environment, trying to learn how it reacts him and how it reacts to that ball. 8th frame. 6 around the 10.
Well, the players are so deep right now in game one. It's going to come down to a question of, are they going to run out of room? Once they get to where they're lofting it, you can see his laydown is already around 35. So there's only 39 boards on the lane. He's only got about 4 more inches before he has to start getting some air under that ball.
10-pin conversion, and a good way to do it. He really inverts his wrist.
Yeah, he almost throws a borderline backup ball at it. But again, it's all about staying ahead of the transition. And if you have to make a ball change, make the right one.
Tom Daugherty's heart rate from 74 doubling. And he gets the 6 to slap to 10.
He can strike out and force EJ to throw another double. EJ right now in the high 220s.
Come on, get this one. Come on, make him earn it. Let's go. All right.
Daugherty owns and operates the Hall of Fame Pro Shops in Central Florida. Bowls out of Oakfield Lanes in Brandon, Florida. And he says that his knowledge as a player gives him better insight in the pro shop. Foundation frame.
Peel, peel, peel.
Yeah! Peels off the teal. Four-bagger for Daugherty.
Definitely going around the side of the ball more. You could see a difference in rotation. Talked to him last night. He said, hey, when you're changing ball rules, how do you do it? He says, I just go by feel.
Peel, peel, peel.
Yeah! Daugherty will give you everything he's got. And now EJ Tackett, spare working, 9th frame. He's got a 15-pin lead, looking to advance along the stepladder. Winner gets Jason Belmonte. I know, so he gets a baby split.
You know what, Mike? I was waiting for that to happen, not anticipating the move. That looked like a good shot that just overhooked. It may have been just a little bit inside a target, but right now EJ Tackett looks to stay ahead in this match by converting the 310. We haven't seen it made yet in this first match.
Rolls the wrist over and picks up the 310. And Tom Daugherty wishes he had picked up the baby split.
Well, TD missed it twice, and EJ finally makes it, and there is your hammer tough spare replay.
And that is indicative of Tom Daugherty. It was in the heat of the position round battle, and he was battling, trying to stay in, and he was still talking with Jesper Svensson, offering him a high five when a good shot was made. Daugherty has the ability to internalize what he needs to do, but he still has fun while he does it.
Yeah. 2 strikes, 8 pins. He shuts out Tom Daugherty.
Messenger note.
Wait, we have a match. EJ throws a great shot here. Well, this ball pushes right. He didn't do that on the right lane. Gives Tom Daugherty an opening.
Spare fill 225 max for EJ Tackett. Again, note the wrist position here. Just straighten out that ball and pick up that 10-pin.
His strike ball's got about 550 revolutions on it. His spare ball's got about 12.
And another re-rack for Tackett. Good play for a couple of reasons here.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you want to gather yourself, but the longer you can make your opponent sit, I think that's an advantage as well.
Mentioned the strong family support back at home. Ed Tackett is here, EJ's father. That one gets wide, just a 6 count. 221.
And that's a big mistake, because now Daugherty can strike on the first ball and get 9 and win. Strike 9 spare, he wins by 1 because of the loss of count there.
Daugherty quickly
Big mistake.
in position, strike to advance. And we'll do it again. Go through the pre-shot routine. Couple of open frames, but Daugherty, with 6 of 7 strikes, puts himself in a position to advance.
Taking a lot of time.
Nope.
No!
How about, oh yeah!
9 spare wins it. Another strike wins it.
That was
He
all
let,
ball.
he let go of it and he said, nope. This ball holds line. Great character.
Started at a calm 74, Randy, and anybody's pulse would be up to 162 and beyond. Daugherty for the win to advance.
They were good.
10 falls down. Daugherty, despite 2 open frames, advances in the Tournament of Champions.
And E.J. Tackett once again snake bit on television. Well, this is why you want to put speed and revolutions on a bowling ball. It's for pin carry. Tried a different ball there, but it's over.
Tom Daugherty, 231-221 winner over E.J. Tackett. 2015 PBA Player Awards and the 2016 Hall of Fame inductions began the Tournament of Champions week. Check out highlights of that when we come back. Firelake Arena in Shawnee, Oklahoma, site of the Tournament of Champions. And here's our Barbasol close shave of the day. Tom Daugherty advancing. Good. And shaving the 10 pin. Tom Daugherty advances. Final score 231-221. Moving along the step ladder. And will face two-hander Jason Belmonte. Svensson and Beasley yet to come. Tournament of Champions week kicked off at the Grand Casino Hotel with the PBA Hall of Fame induction dinner. Randy, always a special evening as the greatest of the great get together to honor the greatest.
I have fond memories of my first Tournament of Champions dinner. It was actually 30 years ago at the Tangiers in Akron, Ohio.
Ed Godbout winning the Steve Nagy, going to Josh Blanchard. Jesper Svensson, the Rookie of the Year. And for the 3rd straight time, Jason Belmonte, the Chris Schenkel PBA Player of the Year. And Ed Godbout winning the Tony Reyes Community Service Award, all 4 of the 2015 class of PBA award winners, hosted by the great Nelson Burton Jr. Pete Couture, elected to the Hall of Fame for his exploits on the PBA 50 Tour. Denny Schreiner, the voice of the PBA on ESPN in the late 80s and early 90s. And the Southern gentleman, Harry O'Neill.
That's Harry O'Neill. He's one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. He used to just rule our region, and when I say rule, I use that term loosely.
The PBA Tour Commissioner with new Hall of Famer Pete Couture, who actually had quite a nice PBA Tour career as well. Jason Belmonte, can he do it 3 times in a row? 3-time Player of the Year in competition for his 3rd straight Tournament of Champions title. He'll take on Daugherty next. Back-to-back Tournament of Champions victories for Jason Belmonte starting in 2014.
Was able to use that great power, and it just continued last year.
Back-to-back looking for more. Kimberly Pressler is with the Aussie.
Thanks, Mike. Jason, you've made 11 out of the 15 past majors. You're the only person to win 3 Masters in a row. And today you're going to try and win your 3rd consecutive TOC. Why are you so dominant in majors?
Look, you know, the majors are what we're here to bowl for, and typically the formats are longer, and I have that self-belief that if I have enough games, no matter where I am in the field, I can always make a run. So I think it's that, you know, that Aussie ticker inside me that just won't ever give up, that as long as I've got time, I can get there.
All right, well, good luck to you today, Jason. Guys, Jason has won 3 Player of the Years. If he wins this major today, he will be first in line to win Player of the Year next year, and nobody has ever won 4 in a row.
Yeah, that's a great point. Jason Belmonte is a major beast, and you know what? At the start of this event, after 4 games, he was 3rd from the bottom.
Supremely confident, as he said. He has the ability, and we'll get into that.
With enough games.
Yep.
And he, you know, I think that's why he does so well in majors. Lots of games, a lot of days, a lot of time for him to kind of figure out the best road for success. Jason Belmonte, first shot.
6 round of 10 roller. No. Belmonte in qualifying. After round 1, he was just plus 82 pins for the day. Little slow start, but on Facebook that night, he said, a little slow start, but I can make up plenty when I bowl great tomorrow. It's that self-belief. He tipped it off on social networking, and then he went out and did it. Plus 293 the next night, and vaulted into the middle of the match play field.
Yeah, it's all about him allowing the opportunity to come to him, not forcing the issue. Look out.
Missed 10 pin.
What the? Okay.
Well, I've always said if you're going to have an open frame in a 1-game match, the best time to do it is in the first frame. Jason Belmonte, normally a very good spare shooter.
Daugherty not wasting any time. His opening shot drills a perfect strike. Tom Daugherty, best prior finish was that 3rd at the 11 Tournament of Champions, losing 299 to 100. 224
Wow,
and change
Wow,
for
really?
48 games. And the beautiful part is talking to Tom about it. It's a part of him. He said he wouldn't change a thing other than winning that match.
He still has that bowling ball that he used on display in his pro shot.
Wow. Skates into the 3 and a washout.
What are you doing?
Bad shot, got
Tommy.
it way too far right. We saw E.J. Tackett do this on his fill shot in the last game. You can see there is a spot down lane if you get it there late, it's going to do exactly what it did there, and that's a washout. Tom's going to try to go straight and hard and throw the head pin over into the 10 pin.
Thumb in for this. And a perfect conversion.
Was it me that said in the last match that he's a really good, oh no, was it you? It was you, right? He's a really good spare shooter?
He's a really good spare shooter.
He is. It's perfect. Left side of the head pin, throw it straight into the 10. You don't get to this level not being a good spare shooter. But Tom, I believe, in my opinion, is exceptional.
Belmonte will restart. He has earned his 3rd straight Player of the Year award, and he joins Earl Anthony, Mark Roth, and Walter Ray Williams Jr. as the only 4 players in PBA history to win 3 consecutive POI awards.
Going with a high road. See how he recovers from that whiff on the 10 pin. Look how deep he is. You know, with all those revolutions and everything, it's still a pretty smooth ball reaction.
Kimberly Pressler is lane side.
Thanks, guys. EJ, that was a tough loss for you. You played well. You got that in the 9th. You got that 3-10 spare that you really needed. But then when it came to the 10th, things went a little wrong. What happened when those throws there?
The first ball on the 10th, I threw really good. Left a little ring 10 there, and
you know, that's bowling. That's just the way it is. And made my spare and got up and needed good count to force Tom to double, and just threw a really bad shot out the window, and it never hooked back and got 6, and just made it a little bit easier for him. He threw good shots in the 10th. So, you know, that's bowling.
We just saw Tom throw on that left lane, and he got a little squirrely too, kind of like the same shot you had. What's happening with that lane?
I don't think there's much happening with the lane. I think it was just poor execution on those 2 shots. Every shot before that, you know, the ball hooked just fine. I think it was just poor execution on those, mine and his.
Well, thank you so much for your time, and we'll see you next week at the Masters.
Right, thank you.
Randy, a rare trip 2-4.
Yeah, it was like the 10-pin was gone, and then the 4 fell, and then the 2 fell. It was very fortunate, and a double for Belmonte.
Third frame for Daugherty. And he just drills 10 straight back. One of the keys for Daugherty, Randy, is slow feet.
Yeah, he likes to keep his feet slow. When his feet get too fast, he has to pull it from the top down. It's no good. His hand tends to fold around the ball early. And look how big that spare conversion, or excuse me, the washout conversion was in the 2nd frame for Daugherty. Still has a 1-pin lead.
Bucket Crumbler, 2-8 fall.
Oh, he gives Belmonte the business, too. He says, oh, yeah? You can trip the 2-4.
Kind of like that one. That was the 2 and the 8.
I'll trip the 2-8 on you.
Tom Daugherty has not been afraid to mix it up with Jason Belmonte. They go at each other on the lanes and a little verbal as well.
So there's something going on now with that left lane. The ball's not recovering. Belmonte's ball comes up light. Now Tom Daugherty throws a good shot, and it still comes up light. You can see him there. He said threw that one pretty good.
Daugherty bowls a good game. Tuck's a good one, too. Oh, solid 9.
That's the one thing that we don't see a whole lot, even with all of his power. His pin carry is generally really good.
Two-time ESPY Award winner for Best Bowler will likely be nominated again in 2016. And he picks up the single pin that time. Belmo trails by 12. Five career majors, the last 2 Tournament of Champions, the last 3 Masters.
It's a lot of major wins, and only being on tour for 8 years, he's done some incredible stuff the last 3 or 4 seasons out here.
Surefire Hall of Famer down the road, and when you're in the company of Earl Anthony, Mark Roth, and Walter Ray Williams Jr., that is the type of player Jason Belmonte has become in less than a decade. Missed 10-pin the difference here. Belmo the first to operate 5th frame. He's working on a spare. Winner goes on to face Jesper Svensson in the semifinal. Little tight, 3-6-10.
Left lane is tricky now. That one was up the lane and it went high. The shot before that was really good. That went light. Good news for Jason Belmonte. He gets to finish the match on the right lane.
Slash in the box spare for Jason Belmonte. Key shot coming up in the 5th for Daugherty. He can extend his lead with a strike and even more with 2 strikes. 3 out of 4 strikes. 1 bad pitch in the 2nd, but he converted. Now 5th frame, looking to extend his lead. Pin high.
Shot.
Great break there for Jason Belmonte. That was the one that Daugherty wanted. Take advantage of the good break on the left lane. Strike on your good lane. See what happens when you're back on that left lane. And this one drifts a little bit high, leaving the 4-pin.
Very versatile Daugherty. Thumb in, thumb out. In fact, when he was growing up, Up until the age of 15, he bowled primarily with thumb in, and then when he turned 16, he went the other way.
We see Osku Palermo do that as well, you know, two-handed style, no thumb, but on his spare shots, he throws it about, I don't know, 100 miles an hour with his thumb in it. This match is going to be won or lost on this lane.
Trust it.
Trust is a must, or your game is a bust. 6th frame. Mixing strike for Daugherty. And when we return, we will flash back to the only time to date in PBA history a player earned 3 straight Tournament of Champions victories. Jason Belmonte trailing to Tom Daugherty. Second half of our next match is coming. And time now for our Ebonite flashback.
It's the first of Jason Couch's consecutive Tournament of Champions wins. This one here was in Overland Park, Kansas. The second coming in Lake Zurich, just outside of Chicago. And the last, Mohegan Sun, Uncasville, Connecticut. That's right, Jason. Take us there, baby.
Jason Belmonte trying to equal that feat by winning his 3rd consecutive Tournament of Champions. He'll need to make up this deficit and get through Jesper, Svensson, and tournament leader Mitch Beasley. Back half of match number 2, Mike Jakubowski with Randy Peterson and Kimberly Pressler. 6th frame, Belmonte working on a spare. Didn't like it. 2-8, double wood. Immediately turned away.
Yeah, he sent that one out all the way to Stillwater. Came back and barely caught enough for the head pin, only leaving the 2-8. His bar reaction's not great. Last time on this lane, left a solid 9. The left lane is well, extremely difficult for him. He doesn't like that lane at all. Tough task ahead of Jason Belmonte and a lot of pressure. Tom Daugherty's just freewheeling right now.
And an open frame.
Oh, Jason.
Congratulations to the Belmonte family on the day, Randy, he was named PBA Player of the Year for the 3rd time. They celebrated the 3rd child, Kimberly and Jason, welcoming Sylvie into the world. On that great day, and this day is not so great for Belmonte. 102 open through the 6th, trails by 27 pins.
Yeah, he's ticked off right now, and he's starting to sweat. You don't see that very often with him.
Max score 222 for Belmonte. Light mixes, kicks out the 8 and the 10.
You never know what's going to happen.
Well, the way the lanes are shaping up right now on the right side, Mike, we do have a southpaw that is going to take on the winner of this match. And if Jesper Svensson can have any kind of ball reaction, he might run away with this.
Daugherty's got a lead and a strike working, can extend it. 7th frame. Loose pitch. Good shot, 10 back.
I think if Tom Daugherty throws a strike here on the left lane, I think he wins this match.
Really saw the yo-yo effect on this shot. Everything just smooth right out.
Well, you know, the way to create revolutions is you have 2 levers of power. You have your wrist and your elbow. And again, I like to use the yo-yo analogy. When you cup your wrist and elbow and then uncup the 2, that's what creates revolutions. The faster you can snap the elbow and the wrist open, the more revolutions you're going to put on a bowling ball.
Oh, boy.
Look out.
Oh, I'm sorry, Jason. Sorry, Jason.
Big crossover. It still counts, and it still increases his lead to 47.
Mate. Sorry.
Yeah, this might be the break of the tournament for Tom Daugherty. You know, the players on that lane are afraid to throw it too far to the right because they know it's not going to get back, and that makes you subconsciously get one in every now and then, and he did there, but it turns it into a three-bagger. Yeah, that was a beautiful shot there. Down by 37. Can strike out for 222. Daugherty is already in the big 220s.
And a re-rack for Jason Belmonte. Winner here moves on to face the lefty, Sweden's Jesper Svensson, two-hander from the left side.
Look at
2-4-8 that left lane.
Did you see that ball wiggle? It got down to the spot and just hydroplaned. This is a good shot. Gets it right to the spot, and then it's like somebody poured oil in front of the 1-3. It's not going to happen in the 2016 Tournament of Champions for Jason Belmonte.
Three-time Player of the Year, two-time defending champion here. Has reached the end of the road.
That's a little better.
A little better for Daugherty as he will advance to face Jesper Svensson. And for Jason Belmonte, Randy talking with him, he's generally realistic about these situations. If you're not at your best, they will beat you, is something Jason mentioned to us yesterday. And he still has a lot of positive things to take from this event.
Oh, I should have left a 7-10.
Jesper Svensson doesn't care much about what people are saying about him or what ball he should be throwing. We'll get Randy's take on the young Swede coming up live in Shawnee. By Firelake Arena, a Citizen Potawatomi Nation enterprise. St. Gregory's University is a private co-ed Catholic liberal arts school, one of the oldest in Oklahoma, housing the Mabee Museum of Art on campus. 3,500 artworks spanning 6,000 years of art, including Native American art and Egyptian artifacts. And now you can outfit yourself like the pros with official PBA jerseys that are available exclusively at PBA.com. The jerseys are made from high-performance fabric and can be customized for each person or team. Head to PBA.com today and click on the custom jersey link and get started. Tom Daugherty, a winner in our opening match against E.J. Tackett, defeats Jason Belmonte 220-169, advancing to the semifinal. Daugherty will face Sweden's Jesper Svensson.
Jesper Svensson is going to throw urethane. He's the only player on the left side of the lane. And I've been watching him in practice. Looks like he's got a pretty good shot. I think he's going to be a handful.
Probably going to hit it again then.
The Harry Golden Rookie of the Year in the semifinal. A PBA charter member is still going strong into his 80s. We'll follow him with action on the lanes next. Packed house at the Firelake Arena just across the way from the Firelake Bowling Center in Shawnee, Oklahoma, as the PBA Tournament of Champions rolls on in front of an arena audience.
I have that same mask.
Today's Columbia 300 fun fact, 82-year-old Carmen Salvino, you'll get me for that, competed in this year's Firelake PBA Tournament of Champions, making him the oldest ever to compete. And Carmen is still the master showman.
And I was fortunate enough to win a doubles tournament with Carmen, and I'll tell you what, they broke the mold. There he is with his wife Jenny. Carmen he's one of the great ones.
The great one, Carmen Salvino, will present our Tournament of Champions trophy at the conclusion of our championship match. Carmen and Jenny. treasures on the PBA Tour.
By the way, when we went to break, I was practicing saying Jesper Svensson. Just thought you should know.
He's waiting, and he has elected to have Tom Daugherty begin the semifinal at the Firelake Tournament of Champions. Opening shot. High, 3-6-10. Looks like he's about an arrow deeper.
Interesting that Jesper would let Tom Daugherty finish this match on the right lane, the good lane.
Spares were key last match, and Daugherty picks up that first spare, covering the 3, 6, and 10 expertly, and now here he is. The reigning Harry Golden PBA Rookie of the Year is Jesper Svensson. Pair of tour titles, including one at the World Series of Bowling, undefeated on television, 250+ average, out of Gothenburg, Sweden. He can sling it from the left side with old school urethane. Mixing strike for Jesper Svensson. And you see the tattoos on the left arm indicating Randy 1133, which was the time of birth, and some great body art. He just likes it, and he displays the guns.
Guns? Those look like pea shooters.
The young man is one sinew, then is a whip, and whipping the rock here in the second.
Oh.
And a big split, 4-6-10.
Last time we saw him was the World Series of Bowling Chameleon Championship, where he defeated Pascal Winterheimer in the title match, 267-193, as this ball goes right through the face. 4-6-10. Still kind of interesting to me that he chose to finish on that left lane. Left lane, tough lane for right-hander. His first shot on the left lane, he goes through the face.
See how that strategy pans out. It's 8 count on the opening in the second frame. 18-26 for Jesper Svensson. Daugherty, as always, quickly to the approach, doesn't waste time. In position.
And there you see the contrast of the two lanes.
What are you doing?
One gets way
Come on.
wide. And a 2-pin.
Come on.
What was that sportscaster's name? Just a bit outside, and that's what that was. That was the big whiff right. Nice break. Only leaving the 2-pin. If he throws that shot on the left lane, it doesn't hit the head pin.
The great Bob Uecker out of Milwaukee. Movie Major League. Coined that phrase, and Tom Daugherty picks up that spare. And Kimberly Pressler's with the 3-time PBA Player of the Year.
Thanks, Mike. Jason, you told me before that you put higher expectations on yourself than anybody else does. How do you feel about your performance today?
Well, I don't feel very good, do I, Kimberly? But, you know, when you're bowling on TV, you have, 10 shots a game, and you've got to make each one of those count. Today I bowled 4 good shots and 6 bad ones, and when you're bowling on tour, you can't give any shots away. So it's something for me to work on, and I've just got to come out of the gates a little better, and hopefully the next show I get on, that's exactly what I'll do. Well,
despite this loss, you played well all week. You did make this telecast for a major. You have the Masters coming up next week. How do you wipe the slate clean and take that good momentum from this week and move forward?
Well, I think that's what every bowler, there's only one guy that's going to win this tournament. Everyone else has got to shake it off. So, I've lost a lot more tournaments than I've won, and I'm going to attack the Masters like I do every other year, and try and make it really difficult for everyone else to win, and hopefully I can win again.
That's a good attitude to have. Thanks so much, Jason.
Cheers, mate.
4 zips around the 7, and it's a missed spare for Daugherty.
Inexcusable whiff on the 4-7 right here.
Jesper, Svensson, and Jason Belmonte led a cast of 4 players using the two-handed style, finishing near the top of the TOC leaderboard. Also joining them in the top 24, Kyle Troop finishing 8th, and Anthony Simonson finished 11th. Ooh, quick, solid 7.
Serious.
The players say when Jesper can throw urethane on this tour, nobody can beat him.
Two hands on the ball, crossing the lane to get the 7 pin. Spare, and despite everything, Randy, even match. Arsenal for Jesper Svensson, it's the pitch black. The urethane ball is 3.5. Randy, it's the least reactive of his bag, and he prefers to use it every chance he gets.
His tour reps try to get him to throw reactive resin, and he's like, no, my thing is throwing urethane.
That's wild, pin reaction like that. Oh. I believe you call that filthy.
Yeah, that's, you know what they call that in Swedish? That's Kraftwerk. Kraftwerk, or powerhouse. This kind of pin action with the urethane ball is unspeakable. It just doesn't happen, you know?
Oh, big fan of Kraftwerk back in the day.
I throw urethane and it's like week 10, week 10, week 10, week 5-7.
Daugherty in the 4th. 4-pin high.
Okay. Good couple shots.
Daugherty's 3 daughters, Cameron, twins Casey and Courtney, son Cody, rooting him on at home. The apples of his eyes. And Daugherty always with a big smile and a chirp, as they call it out here.
Hey, look at there.
Monday is Big Monday on ESPN, and we've got another ACC heavyweight battle between Damian Lee and number 19 Louisville, and the Grayson Allen-led Duke Blue Devils, also streaming live on Watch ESPN and the ESPN app. Big Monday. All even semifinal match, Firelake PBA Tournament of Champions in the 5th frame now. Tom Daugherty.
Excuse me, Mike, and a ball change for Tom.
Not a good one.
Crossing over.
Gotta trust it, man. Come on.
Yeah, it's hard to let go sometimes, even when you're not using your thumb, when your brain tells you to not let it go too far to the right. And that's the compensation or the compensatory move. You know, you flinch right at the bottom.
Key shot here, 5th frame for Svensson. Even match. He's got a strike work. He can take a lead. Struck back here in the 1st. He said push, but the nature of the ball means it's got a better chance to push.
You know, he can really manhandle urethane and get away with it because he doesn't get that wild, massive downlane reaction with the urethane ball. That's what he likes.
Top prior finish in a major for Jesper Svensson, 27th in the PBA World Championship. Almost 230 average for 48 games in this year's Tournament of Champions. And drafted a member of the Silver Lake Adams Splitters coming up in the 2016 PBA League. And talking to Jesper about his ball choice, he says, I don't care what people say. I want to throw what I want to throw. Double working 6th frame. Go. Yes. 4 slaps the 7. Svensson finding his way. 3 powerful strikes. Mixing power. Tattoos. Svensson semifinal. Firelake PBA Tournament of Champions returns. Our thanks to Chris Skillings, the general manager of the Firelake Bowling Center, and his great staff for all of the regional and national and now major championships taking place at Firelake. Also, our sincere thanks to the Citizen Potawatomi Nation for their support of the Firelake PBA Tournament of Champions. Semifinal rolls on. Tom Daugherty can cut the lead of Jesper Svensson in half with a strike. 6th frame.
That Chris Skillings is a good guy. Thanks very much for him and all of his hospitality from him and his staff.
PBA member Chris Skillings, and Daugherty cuts the lead in half.
Yeah, the question is what's going to happen on this left lane. He's going to take a re-rack and kind of ponder through this next shot.
You've seen it. What's the options and which is your A option?
I have no idea, because if you get the ball right, it hangs. If you get it going up the lane, it goes through the nose. The option would be to move farther left and get softer and open the lane up even more than he's doing now.
That appears to be what he's done.
Oh!
6 around the 10.
Finally hit the pocket on that lane.
A great shot.
Appears he took your advice.
Yeah, I mean, that you can't go up and at him because there's no layoff. There's no hold to hold the ball on line. So you get a ball that you know is going to come around the corner and get softer with it. That's what he did. That ball looked like it actually rolled out just a hair and stopped right before it got to the pocket, which may have been why he left the ring tap.
Spare for Tom Daugherty. Jesper Svensson has an 11-pin lead, and Jesper, Randy, part of a new breed that is just having success on the PBA Tour. Jesper Svensson. He just has this attitude about him, and he has the confidence. There's a lot of folks trying to shape what he's doing, and he, at the age of 20, is fairly confident in himself.
Yeah, a very likable young man. He's got a good head on his shoulders, and he's just having a really good time right now on the PBA Tour.
Bang! Splits the 8 and the 9.
Oh, you know what that is in Swedish? Vilde. Savage. I mean, just savage. This urethane ball, look at that thing rev it up. It goes through the pins like a bus.
Part of international travel is experiencing the food, and we all know the old story about Americans traveling abroad and not liking the food, and the very first thing that Jesper said was, I don't like the food. I miss my meatballs at home.
Yeah, we asked him, how do you like the food here? Oh, not so much.
4 strikes working for Jesper Svensson, 8th frame.
Look out. Oh!
Power and revolutions.
You know, I'm thinking right now, what's going through the mind of Mitch Beasley? Forget Tom Daugherty. You know, what's happening with Mitch Beasley? He's going to bowl for the title for the very first time in his career. He's watching Jesper Svensson do this, and he's also watching what Tom Daugherty's doing on the right side of the lane. Talk about getting thrown into the lion's cage.
Strike for Daugherty. Beasley did beat Svensson in the position round match, so Beasley likely thinking about that.
Well, you can throw all that away because this is a little bit different situation, environment. Lanes are a little bit different. Left lane is tricky. Heart rate's going down for Daugherty because right now there's not a whole lot of anticipation. He knows how tough this left lane is, and he's trailing by 31.
Oh! Staying alive, brother, staying alive.
Staying alive.
Barry Gibb couldn't be prouder.
Just waiting for you to join in on that one. Well, this is a nice break here. As the head pin goes to the sidewall and trips the 4 out, and it gives him a little bit of sunshine, just a small ray of hope.
Part of the aura of Svensson is that the kid can strike whenever he wants, and now we're starting to see that after a couple of tentative shots in the second and third. He's run off a string. 9th frame. We've seen power mix, we've seen off it, and now a little off it, but it's that pin mix that he takes command of.
Well, Daugherty trips the 4-pin on the left lane, and Jesper, he trips the 6-7-10 for a 6-bagger. Right now, he gets up to the 10th frame and 1 strike away from a shutout. Or excuse me, a spare away from a shutout.
Tournament leader Mitch Beasley waiting for the winner. 10th frame, Jesper Svensson trying to advance to the title match for his first PBA major.
Go! Yeah!
Jesper Svensson tattoos that strike and will advance to the title match. Beasley in the way. Beasley Svensson for the Firelake Tournament of Champions title when we return to Shawnee. Firelake Bowling is happening in the arena, and this crowd is looking forward to a great title match between Jesper Svensson and Mitch Beasley. Hi, Mom. Tuesday on ESPN, we've got a Big Ten SEC doubleheader for you. 7 Eastern, it's Denzel Valentine and number 10 Michigan State taking on the number 18 Boilermakers. Then at 9, Coach Cal will be mic'd up for this one when his 20th ranked Cats battle the Dogs at Rupp Arena. Super Tuesday presented by Hotels.com. Also streaming live on Watch ESPN and the ESPN app. Time now for the Geico Championship recap.
Hey, Mike. Match number 1, E.J. Tackett leaves the ring in 10, and the 10th, Tom Daugherty finishes with the 6-bagger late. Comes out of nowhere and wins that match 231 to 221. His next opponent would be Jason Belmonte. This match wasn't even close. He got a nice break for a Brooklyn strike there, creating a 4-bagger. He wins 220 to 169. Then in our last match, it was all Jesper Svensson. He finishes with a 7-bagger. He takes Daugherty down 235, 206, setting up a great championship match.
Big thanks to Shawnee, Oklahoma for their support of the Firelake PBA Tournament of Champions. We'll treat you to a great title match. 47-year-old Mitch Beasley against 20-year-old Jesper Svensson. One major titleist. Title match uninterrupted is coming. Tournament leader Mitch Beasley taking on Jesper Svensson. Title match at the Firelake PBA Tournament of Champions. Beasley's first television experience coming in the very first Chris Paul PBA Celebrity Invitational.
And his partner, Kevin Durant, I think this was Kevin Durant's rookie season in the NBA.
Durant and Beasley teaming up. Now Durant teaming up with the Oklahoma City Thunder, about 40 minutes away here from Shawnee, as eventually Jason Couch and LeBron James would claim that CP3 title. Now, Mitch Beasley, tournament leader.
And just a real quick correction, Jesper's game, last game was 245, not 235.
Beasley, tournament leader, elects to begin.
One of the good guys. Yeah, he doesn't want to finish on the left lane. Let's see if he figured anything out.
Mitch Beasley, 47 years old, the 20-year Air Force veteran, begins the title match. And this is the head pin. 1, 2, 4, 8.
Wow.
Beasley in match play over the last 2 rounds, 13 of 14 matches ran, including 8-0 on Friday night. And that is presented by Rolltech, today's Rolltech stat.
I have a really bad feeling about this match. If Jesper Svensson can keep it together, this might be a rout.
And the open frame, 9 out for Beasley. Why and how can you sense that so quickly?
Because the left lane has deteriorated so bad for the right-handers. If you get a little right, it doesn't hook back. You get it going up the lane, it goes through the face. Jesper doesn't have that problem. He can hit the pocket on both lanes at will. A great game bowled on the right side right now, in my opinion, is about 210 or 220. That's a huge game. Jesper can do that on the left side right now with his eyes closed.
Mixing strike for Svensson.
Jesper Svensson, just 20 years old. If you're wondering who the youngest TSC winner is, I'll tell you that in a minute as we take a look at that swishing strike on the right lane. Youngest player ever to win the TSC, Marshall Holman, 1976, 21 years of age, 207 days.
Enjoyed working with Marshall 4 straight days on Extra Frames coverage of this event. Now, Svensson, second frame. Whoa, he's got it.
Thank you both.
Just a monster. When he can use that urethane ball, all the players talk about this youngster. They've seen him bowl around the world. When he can use urethane, he can't be beat.
Beasley, however, 9 frames remaining to find a way to try. He got him in the position round match, which solidified his position as the #1 seed. And now he's out in front of the ball return on the right lane, second frame. Kimberly Pressler is with Tom Daugherty.
Thanks, Mike. Tom, you did well. You took out 2 competitors. You took out the Player of the Year, defending champion, but you are going to go home at this point because that left lane was giving you some issues. What were they?
Yeah, it was definitely just hooking earlier. We call it the Belmonte effect. So by the time he got over there, he destroyed that lane. And I don't see how anyone's going to beat the left-hander today. That lane's, you know, Mitch has already missed a head pin on it once. So I gave it a run, but you're just not going to beat a lefty when the lanes get like that.
Well, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Exactly what we're seeing up here from our vantage point and what we've seen. You know, that left lane was fine after match #1. And then it quickly deteriorated. There it is. Get it right, it hangs, get it up the lane, it goes through the face. The only other option would be to take your urethane, maybe urethane ball out, move right, and throw it straight up second arrow.
Talking to Mitch yesterday about that, he said it was remote, but if you've got 2 shots on each lane, that position might come to him as a last effort.
Unless he tried it in practice, I don't see him going to that.
Covers the 6-9-10. Beasley spares. Jesper Svensson travels the world in pursuit of bowling, and he travels with Martin Larsson and Oscar Palermo, and those are the 3 amigos of the world. And interestingly enough, Martin acts as a confidant and offers some tips, but Oscar plays it close to the vest.
Yeah, Jesper said that Oscar won't give him any help, and when he does, it's simply, yeah, go throw that urethane ball. Look out. Ooh.
Just a touch high, 6-spin. Jesper trying to calm himself down. PBA.com is offering Extra Frame, the PBA's online subscription video service. Coming up, starting next week, live coverage of Big February rolls on with the USBC Masters starting on Tuesday. The Barbasol PBA Players Championship is the week after that. Also available as an app for your mobile device. Click on PBA.com and visit the Extra Frame link and subscribe. And we'll see you Tuesday at Woodley Bowl. Good spare for Jesper.
Right now, Svensson needs to stay in the moment, not get ahead of himself, not think ahead. This title, in my opinion, is being gift wrapped courtesy of the left lane for the right-handers. All he has to do is execute and stay in the moment and don't think.
He won on the World Tour, beating Pascal Winternheimer. at the World Series of Bowling, and then he went on the World Tour in Bahrain, beating Jason Belmonte, now up against Beasley, fourth frame. Yeah, touch high, but he gets them all. He's got a lot of room in that pocket.
When you have area with a urethane ball and a rev rate approaching 600 or more, and that ball hits the pins, you're going to throw a lot of strikes.
Beasley with a pair of options, the Legion solid at 8.5, and the Heat, the least reactive at 7. That's a hook rating on a scale of 10 in hook potential.
Catherine
on the right.
Yep. I can't say enough what he did in match play this year's tournaments.
Misses Mitch Beasley, and Jellimar Beasley turnabout is fair play as Mitch cheered on in Jellimar in the PBA Challenge at the World Series of Bowling. And now in Jellimar in the stands cheering on her husband. And on the PBA Regional Tour this year, first time ever, in Jellimar met Mitch in a title match on the PBA Regional Tour. It's never happened previously.
You know who won?
Mitch won.
Of course. Well.
Big shot, fifth frame, can cut the lead in half. Beasley finds a strike on the left lane.
Yeah, he made a great shot. Mitch Beasley, one of the good guys, finds a way to throw a double and gives young Jesper Svensson something to think about.
The Harry Golden PBA Rookie of the Year, looking for his first major. 20 years old, would be the youngest Tournament of Champions winner in history. 10-pin lead, can double it back to 20, fifth frame.
Yes! Oh yeah! Great shot. Youngest major champion ever, Mike Albee, 19 years old, winning in 1979 the PBA National Championship. As we take another look, piping it straight up second arrow, and that's 10 back.
Halfway home title match at the Firelake PBA Tournament of Champions. Jesper Svensson, double, spare, double, 20-pin advantage, but Beasley has 2 strikes working, and he found a temporary solution on the left lane. First crack at the 6 belongs to Svensson. Jesper kicks out the 7.
Well, he's repeating, making really, really good shots. It is a young gun revolution out here on the PBA Tour. Just great pin action.
Mitch Beasley bowling with his wife in Jellimar, big proponent of the regional program. It's where Mitch learned to bowl. It's the proving ground for learning equipment, lanes, and lane play, and Mitch has earned 20 regional titles in his career. Skates wide, 2-pin.
I saw Mitch about 3 weeks ago in Vegas at the military championship. It's the largest non-combat gathering of active and retired military. 1,800 of America's finest at the tournament. Mitch is telling me, yeah, I made some changes to my game. Good conversion there. So we asked him last night to talk about some of these changes. He said, well, let's see. My body position, right foot open a little bit more. My right shoulder's a little bit lower at setup. My second step's got to be a little bit slower and more open. My push-away has to be straighter, and I'm lower at the foul line. And I said, how long have you been working on all of this? And he says, oh, about 2 weeks.
He is a tactician, and I would expect that as an Air Force Master Sergeant in the belly of a C-130 as a crew chief, he is used to sequencing a lot of things.
C-130 Hercules, I'm very familiar with that airplane.
7th frame.
Look out. Yep. Seen a crossover a few times. Daugherty, Belmonte. It's not your fault, Mitch. It's that lane. It's tough. It's brutal. As we take a look at some of his accomplishments, 20th in 2012 in this event. Out-averaged everybody here in match play.
On the regional, he's won in 6 of the 7 PBA regions. He said he never would have evolved to where I am as a player without the PBA regional program.
This way.
Match in Jesper Svensson's hands. 3 strikes working.
Interesting how he self-talks in English. He just said, come on, kid, one more. What do you make of that, MJ?
When in Rome, do as the Romans do. That is not what the Romans do. 5-8, crossing over, first really bad shot.
Yeah, you hear him just said, hey, come on, relax. That's what happens when you start looking ahead. When you start thinking about the trophy and the money and the title, and you're not focused on what you're doing right here, right? What's in front of you. Mind starts to wander, starts to think about things, takes you right out of your game plan. You start making shots like that.
Refocuses for the spare.
Right now, Mike, he should be numb. Bowl the rest of this game and then watch it a week from now or whenever he can and go, you know what, I don't even remember those last 3 frames.
But we're all human. That watch, if he's wearing it, the pulse goes up, Randy. You've been there.
Yeah, no, you know, the great ones, they figure out a way to separate. They separate themselves mentally, and they get into a place of such focus that there's really nothing else happening around them.
8 frame, 30-pin lead for Svensson. Messenger, yes!
Savage. Give me a dab after that one. Come on, Jesper. Give me a dab.
Classic understated Norwegian. A bit better. As the head pin obliterates the 7. Beasley, 8th frame. And a 2-4-10. He flirted with that on that right lane the last time.
Well, a great week for Mitch Beasley, who's served, when he was in the military, served tours in Afghanistan, Pakistan. Bowled so great in match play to earn the #1 seed. And with all the power on the right side, the lane's disintegrated. And by the time he got to him, there wasn't a whole lot left. Jesper Svensson's the only southpaw throwing urethane. Guess what? Urethane doesn't absorb the oil like the reactive resin does. His shot, if anything, just got better after practice, after shots thrown before his last match. And then he just developed him and made him even better.
And Mitch, with the support of his wife and Jelimar and daughter Barbara, he says happiness is the most important thing to me, and happiness and family. If I don't strike, I can always return to the source of my happiness. Trying to punch out here. Last crack at the left lane, and that one sails wide.
Yeah.
That left lane
Such a good lane.
is so bad.
Wow.
That ball looked like it wiggled twice. It's interesting that Tom Daugherty calls it the Belmonte effect, because that lane was fine in game 1. And then all of a sudden Belmonte comes out, starts bowling, and you can see that that lane starts to hang a little bit. Players get the ball a little bit to the right, and then it starts to hang. Then they move in, and then they square it up a little bit. It goes through the nose, and then all of a sudden lane's destroyed.
spare for Beasley. And Svensson will finish first. The magic number is 193 to win $50,000 at the Firelake PBA Tournament of Champions and claim a major title. Runner-up earns 25 grand. Tom Daugherty takes home 13,000, 11-10 for fourth and fifth.
All he has to do is keep it on the lane the next 2 frames, and he'll be the youngest player ever to win the Tournament of Champions.
Oh! Solid 9. The power of Svensson with urethane.
Ooh. Oh, that brings back bad memories.
Cover the 9 and claim your first PBA major title. Jesper Svensson becomes the youngest player in PBA history to be a champion among champions. Third career title, first major, and a 10th frame to enjoy it.
Yeah, you look back at his first match against Tom Daugherty, he goes strike open, and then followed it up with a 7-bagger.
Mitch Beasley, runner-up finish. Disappointment, but a great tournament for Beasley. Seeds himself into the title match.
Great performance.
Yeah! Jesper Svensson claims the title at the Firelake PBA Tournament of Champions. He will hoist the trophy, and Kimberly Pressler will catch up with him when we return to the Firelake Arena.
The two-handed revolution has taken over the PBA Tour. Jesper Svensson, with his sick power, wins his first major.
Jesper Svensson, 226, a winner in the Firelake PBA Tournament of Champions, claiming his first major title and third overall PBA Tour title. Kimberly Pressler's with our champion.
That's right, I'm also with Carmen Silvino. Carmen, can you please do the honors and hand him the trophy?
There you go. You just bowled in the tournament that the best of the best bowled in, and today you are the best.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Well said, Carmen. Thank you so much. Jesper, you are officially the youngest player to ever win a TOC major. How does that make you feel?
I mean, I'm pretty much out of words. I just can't describe what I feel right now. I'm just so happy and so thankful to be here, and yeah, I'm out of words.
Well, you made it look easy. Everyone was having issues with that left lane except for you. You just kept striking. How did you do that?
Actually, the left lane was hooking a bit more for me, but I just took pretty early control over it, so yeah, I could make the right adjustment, so yeah.
Well, Jesper, congratulations, because you just put an exclamation on why it is that you were chosen the Rookie of the Year. Do you dedicate this to anybody?
You know, pretty much the sponsors, Storm and Turbo, for all the support and the ball reps that's going behind us. Every week we're out here, and yeah, everyone back home, thank you for all the support. Yeah, I'm so thankful.
Congratulations on becoming a major winner.
Big February continues on ESPN next Sunday. Live from Woodland Bowl, it's the United States Bowling Congress Masters, followed by the Barbasol PBA Players Championship. All on ESPN, all live. The youth movement on the PBA Tour is real. The youngest ever to claim the Firelake PBA Tournament of Champions title, Sweden's Jesper Svensson. For Randy Peterson and Kimberly Pressler, this is Mike Jakubowski. See you next week. More live action from Woodland Bowl at the Masters.